What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about GameStop. Give you a quick overview of some of the data points, what shorts are up to, and what's really affecting it. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. GameStop is currently down 1.67%, $20.53 the low, $21.27 the high. Kind of low volume, so 3.6 million shares being traded, 11.4 is the average. Typically with lower volume, kind of increases the likelihood of manipulation, and so majority of the volume coming today is linked to shorting as well as algorithmic trading. You can kind of see the algos back and forth, all this barcoding right here. So yeah, they're kind of making up the majority of the volume. These are all the transactions that have occurred on the secondary market over the last 90 days. And so surprisingly, even though the market is very optimistic right now, you see absolutely no transactions on the secondary market. So big money is just completely overlooking GameStop to, of course, enter in on the long, which is kind of weird because popping over to 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧, latest Morningstar report did show the fair market value for GameStop being $19.86. So once again, that's kind of just very weird overall. But aside from that, no actual news for GameStop. SEC filings, there was a 144 that was submitted after hours yesterday, which did show that this individual right here sold 2,300 shares, equates to $51,000. Nothing really crazy because it is associated to taxes. So again, it is what it is. Nothing really to worry about in my opinion. Broader market is rallying like crazy. Oil is going down, so everyone is absolutely ecstatic. And even looking at the fear and greed index, greed category 72, so people's appetite for risk is on the table. So GameStop, I think, is just purposefully being left behind just to screw over investors or something like that. Because logically, with how much cash GameStop does have, it doesn't make sense that big money wouldn't be interested whatsoever. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. As far as shorts, it does show that net, they're returning around 16,000 shares. They were a little bit more active first thing, of course, to kind of kill the momentum and really bring it down, but 10.14% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 41.42 million shares overall are being shorted. Utilization 30.58. Cost per average is 0.85%. So kind of interesting stuff, but looking at the options, 8.04 million in calls, 1.06 million in puts. But sentiment wise, 65% of all the options being done today are bearish. And you can kind of see just between 11:55 and 12, there was 2.8 million in premiums. And so yeah, that's kind of crazy. So if we kind of click that just to look at it, so organize it based on premiums, you see a lot of bearish ones. $20, $15, and $25 calls were all essentially sold. It looks like all for January 17th, 2025. So yeah, not necessarily the best. Of course, it looks like it was a multi-leg transaction. You have some $20 calls that was purchased on the flip side, and similarly, that was for January the 17th. So yeah, all in all, let me know you guys' thoughts on that. And if you guys dabble with GameStop options, give yourself a shout out. Based on this right here of the call options that were purchased, you see a consensus for it to be back around that 22 to 22.50, and based on the puts, it is anticipated more of a further breakdown for it to be sub 19.50. So as of right now, with it at $20.54, it is trading between these 2 points, so the S1 and the pivot. $20.24 is the strong support, wasn't touched whatsoever today. Flip side, 22.42 is going to be the next strong resistance / target. So right now it's kind of just trading between these 2 points, somewhat in no man's land, if that kind of makes sense. But on the actual chart itself, it is somewhat breaking down. Like I said, it did show some signs that it wanted to break out into the higher percentile, but it's been getting rejected the greater part of the last week. So it is regrettably not doing the best on the technicals. Looking at stochastic, you do see a bearish deviation, so red line above the white, but it is considered rather oversold. So if there is a good piece of news that does come out, you could see a rush of value investors. And then aside from that, number of retail investors are getting in. So even though big money isn't really buying the dip, if that makes sense, retail is. So yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts on GameStop. This is a very quick summary of what is happening, what's really affecting it, where it might be going. So I think all in all, a lot of the data points are somewhat cautiously bearish, but at the same time with the lower volume, it's very clear that some manipulation is happening. And again, logically, it doesn't make sense, the fact that they have so much in cash and the market cap right now is 9.3 billion. So doesn't make sense. But again, I'm not a financial advisor, so you guys do whatever the hell floats your boat. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And make sure you guys take advantage of this promo. It does give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So this is a must do. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you guys watching.